Alrighty, I've got a few things to send out to let people know I am streaming, but we are back live from the Squatch Cave. Tonight I'm going to be playing some more X4. I've had a hankering for it here for about a week. I got to get it out of my system or I'm not going to get anything else played. So first thing I'm going to do is take care of a couple of things. So you guys just hang tight. Alrighty, let's just make sure the chat is functional. And I think we should be in business. X4 Foundations. I am simultaneously streaming to YouTube and Twitch tonight, but it means I'm in a situation where I cannot tell how many people are watching, so I may be talking to no one, or I may be talking to 20 people. I don't know. So I'm just going to keep talking like somebody's there, and hopefully you guys will address me in the chat. I do have both the YouTube and Twitch chat on the screen, so as soon as you begin to say interesting things, they will pop up on the game screen and you guys will be able to see what people are saying, so you can go full screen if you want and not have to worry about missing any of the chat. We are going to start a brand new shiny game. Even though we've been playing a little bit, oh, hush yourself, please. All right. So we've got a bunch of the DLCs and all of that, but I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go with the absolute vanilla start, the Young Gun. All right. The young gun. We're going to be starting out with in Argon space with the absolute most basic ship that we can possibly have, and we're going to see if we can climb the ranks of glory. And while this character's name is Val Sultan, we're going to change the name once we actually get on this. Let's do it. And while the game is loading, we're going to Alrighty. So if you're not familiar with the X games, they are a set of real classics, as evidenced by the fact that this is X4. It is set in the far-flung future. Humanity has created a jump gate to try to travel to other worlds, and when they activated it, it linked into a pre-existing jump gate network, and thus the Earth became part of the interplanetary, intergalactic community. Over time, there were many wars, including a war against a rebel AI, the establishing of colonies and other things, and then after many hundreds of years, the jump gates suddenly shut down. All the factions and their settlements were separated from each other, and we pick up at the point that these jump gates have reactivated, and suddenly all of these factions and civilizations and settlements are all connected again, and they've all had hundreds and hundreds of years to become their own unique individuals. And so there's a lot of tension between a lot of factions because, for instance, 2 colonies of Earth were alone long enough that they've become fully independent, and when the jump gate system opened back up again, the Terran Federation said, hey, all right, we want to reclaim our colonies. And the colonies were like, no, we're our own situation now. You don't have any claim on us. We've got factions that have civil war because they gained differences in political or spiritual beliefs while they were separated and coming back together. All of a sudden, those ideas are clashing. And of course, there is always war. But this is our ship. It is a little piece of crap. It has 1 weapon, 1 engine, 1 shield, 1 everything. We're going to change its icon just because I don't want YouTube to get uppity about Da Vinci's man icon. So I'm just going to come here to my personal information. I'm going to change the logo to my Squatchcraft logo because that's fun. We're going to change our default ship skin to, let's go with the red. I always do the red. Let's do green. I always do red. Let's do green this time. In fact, I like that green better. There we go. So last thing, we're going to come up to the name here, and we don't want Val Sultan. What should we call him? Let's call him his name will be Buck Wild. There you go. Put an E on the end of that Wild. Make sure it's fancy. All right, so here we go. Cadet Buck Wild, ready to go out into the world. All right, so there's our Squatchcraft channel logo, which is pretty cool. We've got a single laser here. It is crap. Oh, is it crap? Let's head on up into the ship. This is the pilot seat where we will be flying it. Back there, this is a teleport chamber. And back behind it is actually like a crew quarters. where any crew that we have on board will actually operate. We never see them back there. We never go back there. We're going to hop into the seat here so that I can close this. There we are. This is a ship dock that we're at. There are docks and wharfs. Docks are able to do upgrades and repairs to a degree, but they can't build a ship from scratch, whereas a wharf can. So we're going to say upgrade repair ship. First thing I'm going to do is go down to my consumables, and I'm going to sell my consumables. Looks like we have 5 satellites. I'm going to sell those. We've got 5 nav beacons. I'm going to sell those. The 5 resource probes. And I think that's it. Yes. All right. And that's going to net us about 56,000. So we're going to confirm that. And it's going to take about 5 seconds for those to be removed. That's going to give us a little bit of cash to work with. I'm going to go to weapons, and I'm going to look at our amount here. We've got 66,000. Let's go to software, and let's install a docking computer. And that's about as much as I'm going to be able to do, though I am going to hire 2 Marines. We're going to want those. And with that, that's the majority of the money we had to start with. So we'll have 2 Marines available to us for boarding other ships. Hey, there's the Rickster. Yeah, I just started streaming. I was going to start at 7, but dinner ran a bit late. Had to make sure that my sweetie pie and our friendly feline were both fed. We're going to go ahead and undock. I've started a completely fresh character in the absolute beginner ship. We are in a sector called Black Hole Sun. Got some ships coming in and going out. Flight controls in this game are really quite simple. I hold down my left mouse button, and now if I move my mouse, the ship will turn accordingly. I have Q and E for my roll, A, D, W, and S for my fine maneuvering. To move forward, I just roll the mouse wheel forward. And I can also roll it back into reverse. Backspace completely stops any forward travel. And we're going to fly out and turn around and get a look at this equipment dock. A great big equipment dock for changing the equipment in ships. But as I said, the equipment dock, you cannot build a ship from scratch. We have jump gates that take us to other sectors, and way off there in the distance there's a little ring, and that ring is a jump gate. And we're going to head in that general direction. I want to head to that cloud right there, because that's where we're going to be able to mine some asteroids and get a few crystals to sell. We're not going to be mining the asteroids themselves, just the crystals off the surface of the asteroids. To mine full-on asteroids, we want a proper mining ship. With my speed as wide open as it goes, I'm doing 180 meters per second. However, I do have the command Shift 1, and Shift 1 engages what we call a travel drive, and what that does is that diverts power strictly to the engines. I can maintain this until either I bring it to an end or I'm hit by weapons fire, at which point I will drop out of this travel mode. It's very slow to control the ship at these kind of speeds, but as you can see, we have gone from 180 top speed to well over 2200, 2300, 2400, I mean, we're really humming it right now. As we approach the asteroid field, I will shift 1 and it'll turn off the drive, but momentum will carry me forward until I roll my mouse wheel in order to re-engage our engines. And what we are looking for is small pinpoints of light, small flashes on the outside edges of these asteroids. As we approach one of those pinpoints, we're going to have a glow from a crystal. I'm using a mod that makes the crystals glow, number 1. And number 2, changes the color of the crystals so that they're more in alignment with classic MMO rarities. So a white crystal is very, very common and not worth much, but a yellow or orange crystal is worth a lot. So it takes them a little bit of time to start spawning in. So I'm just going to take my time, ease into the field. I'm hoping we can find a few good ones and rack up around 1 million credits worth of crystals. The crappy little gun on this ship isn't much good for combat, but it's really good for mining crystal. We will eventually, there's a purple one right there. We will eventually make our way into another sector of Argon space where there is a space dock, and we'll be able to upgrade our weapon once we've gotten our crystal profits. But ultimately, oh, there's a mining ship over there shooting that guy. We got a blue one off over there, so we'll get this purple one. We're going to let it orbit back around. There it is. Come on, highlight the crystal. There it is. Getting scanned. I'm not going to bring the crystals in until after she scans me. Thank you kindly. There's a possibility of picking up something called an unstable crystal. And about the only use that unstable crystals have is for building bombs. And therefore, they're considered contraband in a lot of sectors. But I'm going to use my tractor beam to draw these crystals to me. There we go. And I believe there was a blue crystal over on that asteroid over there. I'm just going to check my inventory really quick just to make sure that I do not have. Yep, okay. There's 340,000 credits worth of crystals. That's why this is a lucrative process if you got the patience for it. Quite sure I saw a blue crystal on one of these. There's some green in that asteroid, but it's not a green crystal. Yes, you can buy ships. One of the sweet things about this game is that all ships are flyable. So I can take this fighter, hop in the pilot's chair. I can fly it to a Corvette like a Gorgon, and I can land this little ship on the Gorgon's landing pad, hop out, go to the pilot seat of the Gorgon, and fly that Gorgon to a carrier, land it on the carrier, hop out of the driver's seat, and make my way to the helm of the carrier and fly the carrier. So it's very cool because all ships are able to be piloted. Huh, well, I would have absolutely sworn there was a blue crystal on this asteroid, but clearly I was mistaken. All right, well, let's keep moving. I'd like to find just a couple more, but this has given the asteroid field time to spawn in crystals, so now we should start to find them at least moderately quickly. But if we go to a wharf, we can have a ship built from scratch. There's small vessels, basically fighters, and then there's medium vessels, which are freighters and corvettes. And then there's capital vessels, big old battleships and super freighters and things like that. Where are you? Okay, there's a white one. It's not going to be worth much, but money's money. At least that, oh, there's a green one, though. That is better. This little ship that I'm in currently is not a good ship at all. When you've got good engines in it, it can be fairly quick, but it only has a single weapon. Come on. All right, we just picked up an unstable crystal. There were all those green crystals, and in the middle of them all, there was a white crystal. And that is an unstable crystal. I'm just going to jettison that. Now, it will be jettisoned in a lockbox, and that lockbox will remain here. So if at some point in our adventures we need some unstable crystals, we know we can come back and pick them up. With the asteroids spinning and the glow only appearing at a certain distance, you keep a eye out for little star twinkles on the edge of the asteroids. There's purple. That's that mining ship that was over there. But that's why I jettisoned those crystals immediately. They are contraband, and we don't want to start getting a bad reputation right off the bat. We'll have a bad reputation with enough factions as it is that we don't need to alienate the one faction that we're really going to depend on for our gear upgrades and things. Because basically, we have to gain reputation, because until we've gained 10 reputation with a given faction, we only have access to a small number of ships and weapons. But once we hit reputation 10, we suddenly gain access to their military tech. And so that's what we're after here. Oh, I see another green one out over there. Right out there. And a green one there. Super duper. A little tiny asteroid. There's white over to the left. They're worth, the white crystals are worth about 1,000 a piece. So I generally don't mess with them. Would be really happy if I could spot an orange or yellow crystal. They're the most valuable. There's a blue. Oh, where are you? There it is. That was really bright. All right, we got another unstable crystal, so we need to drop that. Go to my player information and my personal inventory. Drop that. And we're at about 1,200,000 at this point, which is pretty all right. The map is your absolute interface for everything. Yeah, see, these are all unstable crystals and spacefly eggs that have been dropped by the ships that are mining in other parts of the field. Spacefly eggs can be made into space caviar. It is, again, a controlled substance because if space flies come around, they can damage space stations and things like that. But the map will show you everything that's visible within the distance of your sensors. There is fog of war. This hexagon is not the whole sector. If I fly to the border of the hexagon and I just keep flying and flying and flying, I'll never hit the end of it. And what will happen is instead the perspective will change, where basically this will shrink so that it's showing more area. Right? So we have a jump gate highway here. This is where we spawn, so these represent space stations. Ships are very straightforward. They'll be either a triangle, a rounded off triangle, like these guys here, or a square. The triangles are fighters. The rounded off triangle are like freighters and, service ships like that. And then squares are usually small transports. If it has a single line or a double line under it, that just indicates it's a larger size. So this one up here has a single line under it. It's a rounded off triangle with a single line under it. It means it's a medium-sized freighter of some sort. This little group, they're all triangles. That means they're combat ships. These ones here happen to have a line under them, which means they're medium ships. And then some ships like construction vessels and some other things will have a more unique symbol to them. That ring right out there in the distance, that is the jump gate that takes us into a place called Second Contact, which is a hotspot for conflict between two particular factions, the Holy Order of the Pontifex and the Antigone Republic. Hang on 1 second. So when I go to the map like that, basically the red hex is representative of like asteroids. Purple is like gas. So the blue, the purple, and the red demonstrate the actual asteroid field. And if we zoom in close, we can actually see indicators for the different asteroids, these little marks. And this basically has to do with their composition, what's in them. Red is generally just asteroids. Blue and purple will be a mix of asteroids and gases. And the gases are mineable with the correct ship and equipment. But I think we got one more here. And then I'll get us out of here and we'll get to work on raising our reputation and stuff. So in my stream last night and earlier today, I did a lot of farting around, jumping into battles that I just wasn't armed and armored for, and generally just getting into some mayhem to show the kind of fun the game can have. Sneaky crystal, I almost didn't see it. But tonight, I'm actually going to play the game as I would, you know, to seek to advance my character and make progress, better myself, and only take those risks that are appropriate to take instead of just jumping face first into the deep end of the pool and getting my face shot off. There we go. That should get us to the point where we have enough in credits to make a real difference. So call that 7. Yeah, not bad at all. We should have about 1,500,000 right in that general area. I'm not going to do the maths because, whoa, hello. Got bumped by an asteroid there. That's a big asteroid. Holy cow. Staying within its rotational arc, which really was not an intelligent thing to do. All right, well, let's head for the jump gate. I'm doing shift 1 to enter into travel mode, as designated by the kind of brownish orange highlight around my cockpit glass. I can look around my cockpit using the number pad arrow keys. We're going to pick up speed and we're just going to go right through. We're in friendly territory and we're entering friendly territory. So we can just zoop right through there. Battleship. And some Corvettes. Here we go through the gate. All right. What are you, my friend? Oh, they are the CAC. So the CAC are an insectoid hive race. They do not communicate. They do not try to make friends. They do not trade. They just raid like ants. They fly in pyramidal ships that are 3-sided pyramids, and they can be locked together to travel. Wow, and there is an entire CAC raiding group there with this extremely poor little ship that we're in We are not at all prepared to take on even a single CAC, let alone an entire raiding party of CAC. What you see ahead of you out there, that blue line, is the superhighway. Basically, it's an accelerator that moves from gate to gate and is connected in a loop. And we can follow that loop all the way around through a whole myriad of different sectors. So that was a construction ship we just passed. All right. So red icons indicate kill on sight enemies, enemies who will fire on you. The kind of pink or peach color that we see out here, that means we're not friendly with them, but they won't bother us unless we bother them. And anything that's blue is friendly. So we're going to head over one sector to Argon's main sector. That station right there is the Argon Wharf. We will be back for that, but what we're going to do is run this entire ring. And if I go to my map, make sure my ship is selected. Come on, select my ship. We can actually see that we're jumping from sector to sector, and it'll come around in a giant loop. So the Hatikva are a trading federation. They trade with everyone. Factions, we have Argon and Antigone, which were Earth colonies, but were separated from Earth long enough to actually develop their unique phenotypes. So they're human, but they look a certain way because of a small gene pool. We have the Pyramid, who evolved from beetles. They have 11 different genders. They follow a god emperor. They are currently in civil war with the Holy Order of the Pontifex, which was a Pyramid group that was separated from their home system when the jump gate shut down, and they hatched their own god emperor. So now there's a dispute over which god emperor is the true god emperor, kind of like the Hive Queen. We have the Xenos, who are AIs. They started out as terraformers that were AI powered, and they gained sentience. They rebelled and began to terraform planets that already had life on them, and so everybody went to war against them. There are the Telati, who are a lizard people. The females go out and deal with the universe. The males stay home. And they're all about trade. And they're broken into two factions, one which is kind of the bank of the universe, and the other one which is like the trade federation of the universe. We've got the Split, which are humanoid, somewhat primitive. Who else do we got? We've got a race of aquatic scientists called the Boron. We've got the Terran Federation. And we're just about all the way around. The next gate will take us back into second contact where we began our loop. All right, and then we'll go back to Argon Prime, and we're actually going to go to the Argon dock, the Argon Wharf. And once I've done that, I will get caught up on chat here. Magnus, thank you for joining us, Magnus. New tutorials, I guess, for this. Must be a tutorial to cut the audio of the DLC plat points, I guess. Split, best not to play cards with them. They got that 6-digit. Yeah. Yeah, the split are going through their own problems with the reactivation of the jump gate network. You have patriarchs that control their clans, their factions, and so they were under very tight patriarch control, but those who ended up cut off were no longer under the influence of the patriarch, and so they became very independent and self-determining. And so when they come back into contact with the original patriarch-based society, they're expected to fall back in line. So they're kind of in their own state of rebellion. So there's all kinds of things like that going on. But we're going to get in here. We're going to see what we can do about selling these crystals, upgrading the ship a little bit, or possibly getting a different ship. And we need to run some missions, try to get us some money and some reputation so we can just overall better ourselves. We've got to get, I believe it's within 7 kilometers to request docking permission. When I use my boost, which is tab, it actually pulls power from the shields to give our engines a boost. And once that power runs out, your shields are dead and you can't boost any longer until it regenerates. All right. What's nice is at the initial dock, I got a docking computer, so all we got to do is get in the general area and it'll land it for us. I don't think so. Oh, apparently they decided they were mad that I parked. You know, it happens in real life. Cop wants to pull you over and you take the time to find a parking lot or someplace safe to pull over to get mad at you. All right. Well, here we are on the deck. We're going to go and visit the trader. So the market is way up over in that corner of things. And then on the opposite corner is where we order ships and things like that. We're going to actually take the tube to get there. Hello there, young lady. Who are you? She would be pretty expensive to hire. She's got 2 stars in boarding, high morale, and some pilot skill. So she would be beyond our means. But we are going to hire some people. We want to hire a pilot for our ship. Got a couple of Marines, but there we are. Let's sell those crystals. Show me your wares. And this is pretty straightforward. The things on the right side belong to the trader. The things on the left side belong to us. And to sell or to buy, you just move the dividing line in the appropriate direction. So down here is where all the crystals are. So we're going to sell all of our crystals of various sorts that we just mined up. And it's going to net us 1,627,000 credits. I am going to buy a hand laser. And some spacesuit thrusters Mark II. All right. Thank you kindly. There is some minor crafting in the game. You'll find the crafting tables like this, and we can take supplies and do things like turn them into med kits or meals and things like that that we can sell for a respectable amount. Head back to our Elite Vanguard. Now that we got some money, I'll see what this young lady actually wants to be hired. 158,000. She'd be a hell of a Marine, but not so interested in her as a pilot. And down there is where the large ships are being constructed by nanobots. In fact, we can see one being constructed even as we speak. What mods do I, let's see. So Magnus says, well, Rankar couldn't keep things together, and now they've got Patriarch Zyarth. The one whip was left standing after everything fell apart. I mentioned Rankar because you seem to like X3 Vet. Yes. I definitely love the lore in this game, and I'd say the Split are definitely one of my favorite factions to play. What mods do you have installed? I'm guessing at least one of the crystal visibility improvers. Yeah. So I've got a mod that gives us a few more people walking around in the stations. I've got a mod that, as we're undergoing the attempt to capture a ship by making the pilot bail, it just walks us through the steps, helps us track the steps as we go. Got a crystal visibility mod. It makes the crystals glow, and it also changes their colors to follow their rarity order of colors within your average MMO. But there we go. That is the Cerebus built on the spot. They are definitely building up for something. All right. Antigone Republic mounting defense and second contact flashpoint. That's good to know. We might be able to get over there and maybe end up with a better ship out of it. Let's head back in here and hop in the seat. So we can upgrade ships here, or we can actually manufacture ships here. So if I go to the dock, I can look at the different small size ships. This is the ship we are currently flying in Elite Vanguard. Because we do not have military technology unlocked to us, there's a very small number of ships available to us. But let's go to buy ships, and we'll actually see what kind of stuff is available. So for small size ships, there's a few here. We're in an Elite Vanguard fighter. There's the Nova Vanguard, which mounts 2 weapons and is not a bad little ship. The ones in red are military spec ships. We can't use those. There's the Courier, which in this case is a small mining ship. We've also got a Courier of 2 different sorts, the Callisto, which is an excellent little science ship. and you can mount 2 weapons. You can actually defend yourself with it. Currently, there are not enough materials on the station to build a ship from scratch, which is why we're going to be going about upgrading rather than building a fresh ship. But under medium ships for this particular faction, we've got our actual mining ships, which they're a mining corvette, and different transports, as well as the Minotaur gunship carries lots of turrets. And it's basically a torpedo boat. And the Cerberus, which is the workhorse corvette of this faction, it has a landing pad so you can store a fighter or, for instance, combat drones on it as well. There are not the materials here to build a ship from scratch, and so I'm going to do some quick upgrades. The first thing I'm going to do is go to weapons. All of these are locked to us because they are military grade. So we only have 2 basic weapons that we can use, and they are the Pulse Laser Mark 1 and its bigger and better brother, the Pulse Laser Mark 2. So we're going to swap out to Mark 2. And we're going to go to engines, and we're going to go Combat Mark 3s. That's going to speed us up quite a bit. We're going to make sure that we're also Mark 3 combat maneuvering thrusters. I want to make sure that I have the good docking software, better long-range scanning, the police scanner, which is going to give us more information on fracases that are going on out there, and a trading computer extension. And I've already hired 2 Marines. Doesn't need any repairs. And there we go. So this shouldn't take long at all. 58 seconds. And we'll actually be able to see the nanobots building the new weapon. A heavy fighter being built over there. Looks like I'm swapping to Tropical Punch. There we go. That's better. Alrighty. Hopefully we can go over to Second Contact and maybe manage to get a hold of a Holy Order of the Pontifex ship. All right, so we're going to undock. Like I say, flight controls are really easy. Hold left mouse and just move your mouse, and it causes you to turn. Wheel your mouse wheel forward, and you will begin to pick up speed. Being inside the dock like this, it automatically slows you down. So once you clear the dock, you'll speed up significantly. Our top speed previously was 108. We've just brought that up to 250. So big difference. And most importantly, before we go any further, just to save us hassle if we end up having to reload, we're going to save the game. And I think I'm going to overwrite slot 1. All right. Let's kick on the travel drive and head for the portal. Time to segue into the difference between the various streams of engines, combat, travel, all around, because it's supremely useful information. Quasar heavy fighter. Only thing heavy about it is the weaponry. The hull's made out of balsa wood. Yeah, it has almost no hull. The hours I spent reading the encyclopedia in game was time well spent. Yep. Yeah. Terran ships. Those are probably katanas. It's too bad there's two of them. So I'm not using the superhighway because I want a little more control over where I'm ending up here. And you move really fast on it, and by the time you exit it, you've traveled a pretty significant distance. I'm not sure what we're walking into here, so. All right, yeah, it's hot over here. Thankfully, right now, nobody is particularly mad at us. All right. Let's move in and look for stragglers to try to capture. There's a lot of fighting going on off over there. Let's open up the map. Yeah, they've got a battleship group over here. Looks like they're trying to build a base. They've got a construction ship. Oh, should I make a play for that Gorgon? I think I may make a play for the Gorgon. A righteously stupid thing to do. I'm going to right-click him and select Harass. This is part of one of the mods that we have. And I'm going to close the gap on him. See if we can get him to bail. Whoa, okay. Took a face full there. Come on. Nope. I was hoping he'd surrender, but we destroyed him. And we managed to piss off a destroyer in the process. That guy right there is now considers us hostile. All these little cubes are supplies from ships that were destroyed. So the majority of the battle is over. That's an Ares. He's going to be destroyed before we get to him. That's the ship I want. If we can make it happen. There he is. He's lost his shields, but other than that, he's pretty intact. 28 kilometers out. I'm just going to close on him, see who engages him. Looks like there might be a Cerebus moving in on him. Yep, they're engaging, and that's what I want. I want his attention on that Cerebus. I'm going to set him up for harassment. This is all the stuff that the game normally does when you're trying to force a ship to capitulate. It's walking us through it to help us track our progress. Keep the pressure on him. Trying to do this completely by myself would be almost impossible. Whoa. Yeah, no good. All right. Theseus, if I can manage to capture any ship that's better than this ship, I'm happy. This is just such an absolute basic ship. The Theseus is not a bad ship at all. It's fast, it's nimble, it's got fairly good firepower. Whoa. I don't want to get caught in a missile barrage, get hit with friendly fire. All right, he bailed. Oh, stop. Thank you. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select a ship, right click, and say claim, and we're going to launch one of our Marines in a pod that is going to fly over there and take over that ship. I just got to keep an eye around me because there are hostiles close. All right. I'm going to select that ship, the Theseus Sentinel, and I'm going to tell it to fly to the Argonne Wharf. Dock and wait. There we go. So it'll take off, and it'll fly back to the wharf where we did the upgrades on our ship. Nice and safe. Do myself a favor here because I always forget. Do a quick save here. I really would be a complete and utter idiot to go after this ship. Looks like he is engaged with a battleship, though. Take my time on the approach so my shields are regenerating. He has a ship docked on him. He blew up. We're lucky in that we don't have a lot of hostiles around. Right now, they're still don't like us, but don't hate us. It's only when we fire on them that the nearby ships will go hostile. So we got that destroyer out there. Come on. He should be, we're too far out of range. He should be more concerned about that big ship than me. But I mean, we're not even scratching his shields. Like, barely. This is incredibly foolish on my part. Am I being fired on by the battleship? I think I might be. Just keep harassing the crap out of him. Because he's more concerned about the battleship than he is about me. All right. He'll say abandoned ship several times before they actually abandon ship. Each time he says abandoned ship, aha, he just bailed. He just bailed. He just bailed. Okay, we got to do this fast. Oh, is he inside the wreckage? Come on now. Really? We got to get to him before I get jumped. All right. Just below the wreckage. This is the ship I was after right here. This is my boy. Claim, send a second Marine to pick him up. Ho, 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 yeah, that destroyer's getting close. Get on in there. You can do it. And it's ours. All right. Warning pod. Nemesis Sentinel. Whoa. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I want him to go back and dock at the wharf. Dock and wait. There we go. Did he get blown up? I think he might have gotten... No, okay, he's solid. He's solid. You're not supposed to be fighting, bud. You're supposed to be running. I'm going to lose it if I don't get over there and help him. Divide this drone's attention. Oh boy, pulling us right in on top of these destroyers. Hopefully I distracted him long enough for my ship to get clear. All right, you knucklehead. You're supposed to be traveling. Come on, come on, come on. Dock and wait. Get the Sam hell out of here. Stop attempting to engage the enemy and go. I think he's finally starting to work his way. All right. All right, he's on his way now. All right. He's on his way to the superhighway. And we now have 2 ships that we're going to sort out which one is preferable. I'd like to go with the Nemesis Sentinel because it's a corvette that's armed with 5 hard points. But the weapons would not be very magnificent, but they're big enough and numerous enough to make a difference for now. It'd be real good for running missions. Let's do this thing. So it was kind of risky going in there with this little piddly ship, but so worth the risk. All right, he's headed over there looking for a landing spot. The AIs in the ships can be a little dopey. Looks like he's hung up on something. Yeah. He's being a knucklehead. He'll work it out. Where's he gotten himself to? Yeah, he's hung up. So what I'm gonna do is tell him to fly and wait to okay, hold on here. All right. Remove all orders. Fly and wait. So he should now fly over to this point. Or not. All right. If you get a ship that's hung up like this, one of the things that you can do is you can fly out of the sector and fly back in. And when you fly back in, the ship will usually have escaped. It's getting stuck situation. Oh, there he goes. He's working it out. He's trying anyway. But while we're waiting for him to get his business in order, we're going to go over and check out the other ship. Take the tube over to the Theseus. And there it is. So, looks like only one of its weapons came out of the fight intact. A weapon goes there on the nose and one on either side. So we got an intact weapon there, but all the rest of them are gone. Hello, my friend. Let me in there. Let me in the chair, please. That's the Marine we sent across to capture it. Let's see what we actually got here now. I like the camouflage. It has Mark III combat engines, which is fantastic. It has Mark II combat maneuvering engines. It's got bottom of the barrel shields, just Mark I shields. Advanced docking, advanced long-range scanner, police scanner, targeting computer, trade computer. It's got some onboard goodies, some satellites, beacons, resource probes. It's got one laser tower, 3 mines. So what we're going to do is we're going to maximize our profit on this ship because we're going to be selling this ship. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to engines. It's got 2 Mark III engines that have a value of $529,000 apiece. I'm going to downgrade those to Mark I all-around engines, which are only $15,000 apiece. And so that means when I do that, we're going to make a profit of $529,000. I'm going to downgrade this from Mark II combats, which are worth 58 grand, down to all-around Mark Is, and we're going to make even more money off of them. We're going to come here to his shield generators. There's nothing we can do to benefit from that. We're going to come to weapons, and it's got a shard battery, which is basically like a shotgun, and everything else is plain. So we're going to downgrade that shard battery to a pulse laser. We're going to make a little more profit. We're going to come to the software. We're going to downgrade it to a Mark I docking computer and downgrade the long range to Mark I long range, and from a police scanner to a basic scanner, and turn off the trading computer extension. And the end result is going to be a profit of $841,000. So we're going to mark it and confirm the order. It's going to take 1 minute for it to do that. But we just pulled ourselves back up to $1,800,000 by just doing all the downgrades because we get the cash difference back. Looks like the chat may have run into some issues. There it goes. Yep. So basically, once this has been completely stripped down and refit with the lowest quality weapons, and we've made all that money back out of it, then we're going to send the Marine to go work in a different ship, and we're going to sell this ship. The leftovers will probably, I don't know, be 500,000, somewhere in there. And there we go. So I now need to see whether or not this guy is still stuck, and he is. So that sucks. Get up. Wait for our Marine to come back out. There he is. Yep. work somewhere else for me. I'm going to assign him to the Elite Vanguard as a Marine. There you go. Assign. And he'll head out the door and start going over to the ship. There we go. So he's now on his way over to our original fighter. And I'm going to sell this guy. So what I do is I select that ship and then right click on the station icon and say sell ship at, and it'll tell me what it's worth, 200,000. We sell it, and it will, a pilot will immediately enter into the ship, and it will go into service among the Argon forces. So the Argon Federation now has a new ship in its fleet, and we made about $1 million out of that. And I am trapped inside this, but that's okay. I just say Shift D, and it will teleport me directly to our little ship. There, he finally made it out. So we're going to select him and now tell him to come in and land. He shouldn't get stuck anymore. Dock and wait. Trying to figure out what that flashing red icon is. All right, I'm removing all orders and assignments because he's just sitting there. I don't know what's going on, but he seems to be having some definite issues. Now, dock and wait, please. There we go. Now he should be coming in. Yeah, he was having a time of it, no doubt about it. Where are you? There he is. Our Marine has no piloting experience, so he's having a hard time with it. And it looks like at least a couple of his weapons are still intact. At least 3 of the 5. Normally, I'd just Control D to teleport to the ship, but I want to give you guys a sense of perspective regarding the size of the ship. And it's a big one. Let's head on in. Take the elevator up to the cockpit. Hello, my friend. Good job. I know you had a little tough time of it, but you came out all right in the end. All right. Upgrade, repair, dock to ship. This is the Nemesis Sentinel. It carries 5 weapon hardpoints, 1 in the center, 2 at front, 2 at the side, and then also has 2 turrets. It's a little shy on engine power, but pretty good for shields. Now let's see how it's fixed. It has a Mark III combat engine. We got very lucky with that. It has Mark II combat thrusters. We currently have 2 million available to us. We're going to give it the Mark IIIs. It's got Mark I shields. I'm going to upgrade it to Mark II shields in both locations because it has dual shields. For primary weapons, in weapon slot 1, it has no weapons. And that means weapon slot 5 is also empty. The only thing that we can give it is the pulse lasers right now in those 2 positions, because we don't have military tech unlocked. In position, in this front position, it has a plasma cannon, and we're going to swap that out for the pulse laser, which is going to make us about 100,000 in profit. We're going to do that in both locations. And then in the Mark III position right here, it's got that plasma cannon, and I'm thinking we might keep 1 plasma cannon, but in the end, I'm just going to go with pulse lasers all around. So between the profit we made on upgrading and downgrading, we're not looking too bad for turrets. It currently has a plasma Mark I in both positions, and that's respectable. We'll leave those. For software, it has the best docking software, has the best long-range scanner, has the best police scanner. So yeah, it's topped out for that. This is where we're about to make some money here, though. It will be carrying consumables. It has 46 mines on it that are worth $8 grand a piece. That right there is a huge profit. And it's got 10 tracker mines, which are worth 14 grand a piece. That's 140,000 right there. And sell its flares as well. So when we add it to the shopping list, the final tally is 143,000. I'm actually gonna go back to edit because it probably needs repairs, and I'm just gonna pay for repairs since we came out so cheap on this ship of awesomeness. Let us get our. We're gonna get 5 Marines because we've got another Marine we want to transfer to this ship. Well, actually, I'm going to go 4 Marines and 1 service crew. Might as well do 2 service crew, as a matter of fact. And we'll be bringing a Marine over from our previous vessel. The 2 service crew will operate the turrets more effectively. And with that, we're going to call it good. Add to shopping list. Confirm the order. It only cost us, with the finagling we did with materials and prices, it only cost us 200,000 to get this ship upgraded to a excellent combat status. We are going to highlight the Elite Vanguard, right click, select COM, And actually, we don't have a pilot over there. So that's Fleet Vanguard information. Go to the crew tab. Gonna come down here to the Marines. We sent. Where is he? Oh. Hang on. There he is. Okay. It is a recruit, and it's supposed to be giving me that recruit's name, but it keeps on. The slider keeps sliding, and I keep messing it up. Pardon me, please. It should be allowing me to see the specific Marine by name, but it's not allowing me to do it. Why not? Well, I'm not going to worry about it. Going to make sure it's selected, and I'm just going to turn around and sell it, and the Marine can go with it. It's worth 598,000. Yeah, I'm sure that was his name at the bottom. But so we now have our Nemesis Sentinel. We've sold the other ships. We're armed well enough to be able to create some pretty serious mayhem. And we need to do some jobs, build our reputation, but it's going to be a whole lot easier with this ship. So let's undock. The fact that we've got Mark III combat engines and Mark III combat maneuvering means we are going to be a heck of a fighting ship, even with these relatively weak weapons. So once I get out here, I'm going to hit enter. And these are our pulse lasers, all 5 of them. And each of these is a unique setup. So this is hotkey 1, this is hotkey 2, hotkey 3, hotkey 4. Hotkey 1 going to have all 5 weapons firing. This hotkey I'm going to have 4 weapons firing. This hotkey I'm going to have 2 weapons firing, and this hotkey I'm going to have 1 weapon firing. That allows me to dial up or dial down the amount of damage I'm doing, which will help us when we're trying to capture ships. We also have our turrets, and we have several different things we can have them do. We can have them defend. We can have them attack all enemies, attack capital ships, attack fighters, mining, missile defense, or attack my current enemy. I'm going to set them to missile defense. And with that, let's find out how fast she goes. Nice. Pushing 350. Wow, pushing past 350. $360 in comparison to the like 245 we had in our other ship. And a lot of firepower. What we're going to do is we're going to jump on the superhighway, and while we're traveling it, I'm going to have this right here open, which is mission offers, and we're going to see if we can pick up some missions to do with this ship. So let's get to the superhighway. Specifically, we want missions from the Argon. Preventative measures. That's destroy criminal traffic. Water shortages. Make sure we're tracking our ship here. Preventative measures. Defensive. Yeah, not much going on as far as missions for those guys. So now we're in Talati space. So it'll be Talati missions that'll be popping up and Minmatar missions. And I honestly have no interest in their missions. I'm watching for hostile ships as we fly. We might have a chance to jump somebody. Oh, who's blowing up my phone? All right. All right. That way. Oh, hey. We may have some trouble we can get into here. There was a cluster of Holy Order ships back here. Yeah. Are they Holy Order? Yes, they are. $26 out. Do myself a favor and remember to save. See if we can capture a second Nemesis. And there they go. They bailed. Eat 'em, boys. He lost one of his front guns, but he's got his secondaries. And there we go. Just like we did before, we're going to select him. And send him back to the Argonne Wharf. All right. Let's make sure he's selected. So that's the H&F 683. H&F 683. All right. I'm going to right click information and come up here to the name. Where is it here? There it is. I should be able to select the name. Nemesis Sentinel. I'm going to rename it the Hanafa 683. I like to make the ship name match the letters in the first part of the port number. Helps me keep track of them. So it's the Hanapa 683. So my cap lock was off. There we go. Now it's got its new name that fits its designation. Argonne Wharf. Dock and wait. And away he goes. And then we'll decide, once we go back and we check him out, we'll decide whether to keep it or sell it. Boy, we beat it within an inch of its life, too. What do we got out here? All right. Get back on the job here. So in the vanilla game, if you capture a ship, its entire weapon loadout is destroyed. We've got a mod that gives a percentile chance for each weapon to remain or be destroyed. They've got a fight going on here too. This is right on the edge of the Paranid territory. Up here near the gate, we may see a bunch of enemies. Just one lone fighter. Preventative measures. Destroy criminal traffic. That one again. Come on. Give me one that's worth doing. This one, they want us to build a station, but we don't have the money for it. Seeking mine removal expert. All right. We're going through these gates over here. It sounds like there's probably some pirate activity going on out here. Go through this accelerator. All right, there are the mines. 79 meters, or should say kilometers out. So most likely there will be a ship out here. Though it might be a small station. Usually it's a ship that has ended up flying into a minefield and gotten trapped. Yeah, they're set up around a station. We have to get within 3 kilometers of them, and then we should be able to remove them. All right. That's at 8 kilometers. That's at 6, so that's the closest one up here. Yeah. That one's 5. That one's 5 out. There we go. That got us +1 reputation, which has brought us up to 6 reputation. We got some individual points of reputation as we were doing some fighting. So 4 more points, and we unlocked the military tech. See if here. Unknown stations. Argon Patrol. Relatively quick and painless. Insolent Youth. Board a specified ship. Yeah, that's not happening. We don't have enough crew capacity to be able to carry a boarding party. Because capital ships, the big capital ships, you actually have to send boarding pods en masse. They land, they penetrate the hull, and then they fight their way through the ship to take over the bridge. And that takes a pretty fair number of troops. Zyrith mineral mining, yeah. There's something going down over there. It's probably the xenon. So I suppose Could be that they're after the Zyarth. Yeah, we've got pitched battles going on all over here. This battleship's over here fighting something. Oh, I guess that's actually a building ship. There's definitely a firefight going on there. And that looks like a minefield ahead of us. Yeah. What is going on over here? What are they firing on? Ice Union Raiding Party. That's the Vigor Syndicate. Oh, we're on even terms with them. We'll stick close to watch the battle for a moment or two, but they're basically space mafia. We got a Xenon who decided to jump right in the middle of everything. Yeah, that little orange spot right there, that's a mine. That is a big ship. Better watch out for friendly fire here. Or Zyarth Patriarchy ships. So there's 2 Barbarossas out there? Sure looks like it. Yep. Yeah, he's running like hell. We will always set aside anything else we're doing to kill Xenon. That's a Xenon Corvette. He abandoned ship instantly. Claim it. There we go. And we're likewise going to send that to the Argon Warp. Dock and wait. We got the Xenon jumping in on everything out here. Yeah, that Syndicate ship has done a good job of cleaning up enemy forces. Xenon Corvette jumped us. Bastard. And what is he firing on? Oh. Yeah. The Syndicate is holding its own, that's for sure. All right. Excuse me. And see, that goes out to a separate sector. Well, we're going to go check out these ships we captured. Yeah, I went in and opened up on them. Some of the syndicate ships are really worth having, and so I decided to push it a little bit. Make sure we got a reason to beef with them if we encounter them later on. It's mostly a matter of, since we're supporting Argon, since we're primarily supporting Argon Prime and the Hatigva Trade Federation, they were fighting with the syndicate. So I kind of felt like it was my duty to jump in and assist if I could. See how we came out. I think the one ship is gonna be good to sell. I think the Zyarth ship is probably not going to be so hot for a profit. We just have to see. Okay, where is Hanapa? Is it all mixed up in there? Oh, I sent it to the Argon shipyard instead of sending it over here where I wanted it. Dock and wait. So looks like this alligator is actually a gas miner. All right. So the Sentinel that I am currently flying there we go. Is KAA, huh? Gonna call it the Kaha 698, just so it's easy to pick out. All right. Well, while we're waiting for the other one to fly over here, let's go take a look. Hey. ships from the split faction are always very basic, very functional. Their belief is more weapons, less shielding. Very plain, very simple. You have to let me in there, young lady. Thank you. Let's get a look at it here. Not a bad looking ship. Kind of an interesting design. But it is a gas freighter. It's actually sporting Mark II combat engines, which is a bit of a surprise. Mark I all around. Mark I shields. No primary weapons. It has turrets, which are, looks like bolter turrets, and a shard turret. So, yeah, we're going to look at what it has on board. It's got 24 beacons. We'll sell those. We'll sell the resource probes, laser towers, and the flares. Usually it'll have absolute minimum software. Yeah, so we can't downgrade the software. This I'm going to take. All right. It's nearly 10 o'clock at night here, and I'm getting a sales call. I had to take a moment just to let them know just how delighted I am by the idea of you disturbing me at nearly 10 o'clock at night for some shit that I don't even have an interest in. All right. So after just grabbing what we can off of it, we're just going to have that stuff stripped out of the cargo bay quick. That's about 400,000. Yep. Time for you to head back to the ship. I know you thought you had your own command. Sorry to disappoint you, but we're selling this junkie. We're selling it. And see you over there. See if our other ship has actually come in and landed. Yep, there it is. And again, I could just shift D to teleport and then give me a list of ships, which one I want to jump to. But I like this immersion. I like the ability to walk over and see my ship up close and personal. See what kind of paint job this one's got. If this one is worthwhile, we'll actually do the repairs on it and add it to our fleet. And if not, we'll sell it. Hey, job well done. Let me on in there. Get a look here. Yeah, these were set up primarily for fighting large capital vessels, not Corvette to Corvette combat. Yeah, plasma cannon. What is this guy here? A beam emitter, huh? And it's only got Mark II engines. Yeah, Mark II all-around thrusters, crap shields, crap weapons, crap turrets, basic software. Was carrying 90 friend foe mines that are worth 27,000 apiece. Say hello to a serious profit. I think we're going to make this ship all profit, quite frankly, because it is not the droid I am looking for. So let's get those stripped out. And we just literally doubled our money. We went from 2 million to 5 million just by selling this cargo. All right. So, young lady, what do you think about your own command? It'd be good to have a backup ship, but you'd be kind of a rust bucket for a little while. Your piloting skill is pretty poor. Well, let's see what we can get for the alligator. So ship at 415,000. We'll sell it. I think we'll hold on to the Hanafa. You know, we're money ahead enough that I think taking the time to do the basic upgrades on it and turn it into a true combat worthy ship would not be a wasted effort. Hey, Necromancer, did that get reset again? Really and truly? Sound settings, effects volume, and it's set to the correct sound device. But I agree, I don't see any game sound showing up in there. 1 second. Alrighty. Now we've got in-game sound. Yeah. I had to do a reinstall today of some things as we were getting set up to be able to be simultaneously streaming to Twitch and to YouTube, and so the sound got reset. All right, well, let's go ahead and just trick this bad boy out with some Mark III combat engines and some Mark III maneuver, some Mark II shields. We're gonna basically swap everything out to pulse lasers. Pulse Mark 1. Pulse Mark 1. We're going to give her a full crew. So we'll go 2 service personnel and the rest in Marines. Give it its repairs. Not enough resources on the station. Really? Alright, well, I'm going to add it to the shopping cart and confirm the order. And I'm just going to have her sit tight, basically, until such time as the repairs and changes are done. Because I'd rather run solo right now anyway. So once the materials are delivered, it'll get its engines and shields and everything rebuilt. And so it'll basically be running at the same specs that the Kaha is running. And until then, it will be perfectly fine. Just sitting here waiting. Safe and sound. So we haven't done too badly for ourselves. We haven't committed any piracy. We've just focused on ships.
Sentinel.
Focused on ships that are not our friends. Let me in there. Thank you. And we're just going to make sure we've got our full crew complement here. There we go. Oh, it's short on crew. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll cancel the order, and we'll just have to function with only a couple Marines on board for the moment. But not bad. We captured a mining ship, 1 fighter,
Requesting permission to dock.
2 Nemesis Sentinels, which are excellent combat ships. So I would say not too bad. And we really need to just manage to get ourselves those last few points in terms of reputation, so that we can get access to the military gear. Mining survey. Ore has always been easy to find, cheap to mine, and quick to sell. A recent increase in activity by independent miners, no doubt encouraged by the reopened gate connections, has made it difficult to monitor this elusive flow of raw materials. We would therefore like to expand our network and offer a reward for any information about ships carrying ore. We only accept scans from this sector. Scan a ship containing ore. Let's do it.
Knew I could count on you.
And what that means is that I have to approach ore hauling vessels and use scanning mode.
Ides, Sentinel.
That's Antigone Republic.
Ides, Sentinel.
Hey, you can't do that.
I just did.
Cerberus, Vanguard.
Xenon spotted.
Not completely certain what I'm supposed to do for this particular quest.
Entering system. Atikva's choice.
Attrition warfare. Destroy Yaki. Any ship.
Docking permission granted.
Trying to see if maybe we can pick up something else that's a little more useful to us in terms of a mission.
Entering system. Silent witness.
I knew I could count on you.
Autopilot. Engaged.
There we go. We're gonna go try to recover goods from the lockbox. Firstly, we'll recover about twice as much goods as they're actually looking for, so we get to keep those.
Entering system. Atikva's choice.
Ah, we're going to Thark's Cafe Cascade. This can get interesting.
P.
Because there's a lot of Xenon activity through this portal.
Entering system. Vargas Cascade.
Yeah, not such a good place to be.
E.
We are in Xenon space, and boy, are there a lot of Xenon. All right. Yeah, we've got 2 ships that have tagged on to us.
M. Autopilot. Disengaged. Danger. Hazardous region detected. N. M. T.
All right, he's 34 out. Yeah, this is not a good place to be.
P. Danger. Hazardous region detected.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. If I was armed with proper weapons, I'd seriously consider it. But oh, come on.
Autopilot. Engaged.
With these pop guns we got on here, we'll get swarmed and it'll be over before it even begins.
Autopilot. Disengaged.
Because they're already starting
Danger.
to gather.
Hazardous region detected.
So I'm gonna decline
Entering system.
these
Take
missions.
first choice.
Gonna decline these missions.
S.
Which did not make me any friends, but who's after who here? Not making me any friends. The hell? But I didn't know it was sending us into a xenon infestation zone. Not a good answer. And the other one, scanning a ship with Thor, I don't know if I'm supposed to just fly around and randomly scan people. But that's considered an invasion of privacy and will actually lose reputation for going around and scanning all these ships. So, and since our entire focus is trying to gain some reputation, that would be kind of a foolish thing to do. There's a whole slew of different kinds of missions, and I don't know why we're getting such piddly crap-ass missions. Guess just luck of the draw. Industrial espionage. Deploying satellites. Very easy missions aren't going to get us much. We need a medium, high-profile military target destroy kit. Aha! Except
I knew I could count on you.
Entering system. Argon Prime.
scale plate packed Falcon Vanguards. Check the mission details, see if it's giving us a location to go search for them. Okay, first of all, focus on my ship, please. Thank you. Are you done yet? I don't know. A number of enemy ships have been spotted recently that give us cause for concern. The reports have all been from civilians and so don't give us enough information to track down the ships. But we believe we have accurate descriptions of what the ships look like. We're looking for someone willing to remove these ships should you come across them on your travels. Ship specifications, scale plate packed Falcon Vanguard. Note the target signature has been loaded into the ship computer. While this mission is active, your ship computer will notify you whenever matches are detected in the vicinity. At the start of this mission, intelligence spotted sightings of matching targets in the following location. Bright Promise. Okay. Bright Promise. It's Black Hole Sun. I think Bright Promise is going out of second contact. Well, no, actually not. Actually not. I think I know where I'm headed.
P. Entering system. Second contact.
I just had to at least once. Let's see.
P.
It's going to be one of two gates, either the gate that's in this sector, right over there, or the gate that's in the Argon sector, and I just plain don't recall which of the two it is.
Unknown object.
Probably actually in the Argon sector, but we'll find out.
Entering system. The void.
Okay. Is it really 10:15 already? Holy crap. I'm gonna have to shut it down for the night. I didn't realize it was that late. I have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Entering system. Second contact.
I'm gonna have to save, and I'm gonna have to call it a night. But I will be back streaming tomorrow, most likely for a while during the day, but tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock Eastern. Not sure if we'll be playing this or Bannerlords or what we'll be playing, but we shall return, that is for sure. So thank you for joining me. I deeply appreciate it. Always happy to see familiar faces, and I will see you guys